Now, the week ended positively as Nigeria's currency, the naira, appreciated both at the official and unofficial foreign exchange markets. Now, at the financial markets, dealers quotations exchange forex trading closed at 789 to a dollar on Friday from 837 naira to a dollar on Thursday. Now, similarly, the naira appreciated by 137 naira in the parallel market, exchanging at 1,113 naira to the dollar on Friday. The currency appreciated reasonably from the 1,250 naira to a dollar traded on Thursday at the parallel market. The development comes barely 48 hours after the Supreme Court affirmed President Bola Tinubu's victory. Earlier, the Finance Minister, Wale Edun, disclosed that the country will soon receive an inflow of $10 billion in foreign currency to mitigate the forex crisis. This morning on the Daybreak show, we'll be taking a look at the performance of the Nigerian currency, the naira against the dollar, which has appreciated over 200 naira against US dollar in hours at the peer-to-peer segment of the foreign exchange market, and how it can regain its lost glory as currency that was one time one of the strongest currency in the world. Now, to talk about this, we have joining us via Zoom from Lagos, the President, Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Aminu Gwadabe, and also Steve Nwachukwu, who is an economist, to give us some perspectives to this issue. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen, on Daybreak this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Steve, let me start with you. It appears confusing these days when we hear official, non-official market. I mean, we said that we've unified these exchange rates. So what exactly do we mean when we say official and non-official? Does it mean the currency collected in the banks is considered official, and then if you buy at the parallel market is non-official?
Okay, that's a good question. Unfortunately, we've run an exchange market regime that have created this disparity, created these two parallel markets, whereby you have what you call the unofficial, the parallel, the black markets, and the official. Now, the official, the I&E window, the central bank, while the unofficial is any other form of receiving that is outside the official window of the central bank. Again, transactions conducted, any transaction, foreign exchange transaction conducted outside the official window, outside the view of the Central Bank of Nigeria, what is called the black market, the unofficial window. Some of the key players are there, are not regulated. Some are regulated. We have the BDP6 who are also there. Because we've long ago run a system whereby people can go abroad, make some money, and feel that they need to remit it through the official window to bring their money. They can come with the cash. Now there is a existence of the BDC, which also performs that functions of receiving the money from them and sending it to those, or giving it to those who actually know an official events, official programs.
Okay, so Steve, in that sense then, can we say that the unification of the foreign exchange has been, has yielded the desired results? I thought the whole idea was to make sure that that disparity does not exist.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm just trying to lay a background why government thinks that, well, okay, this market and this market needs to come together, a sort of convergence, a sort of unification, so that you can have a close range or a close mark. Because the diversity is too much, some article it went as high as 40 between the official and official. So the current government has the quest to unifying it simply means that they are trying to allow the edge or the official market exchange rate is grand. That you can only find a chance if they allow the official market to also bid in the official market to be based on the winner and willing seller. That is what government intends to do or intends to achieve if you're a willing buyer who also will go to DC and bid, because even in the bid is also a willing buyer and a willing seller. Because a man brings in money and another thing is also willing to buy it. So they decide at the rates. So if your market is also floated in that manner, that you have a willing buyer and a willing seller, you will have some level of convergence or some level of close mark between official and unofficial. But so the efforts of the federal government to assist have not really yielded the required result, in the sense that government fails to tackle the main, which is under supply. That way you can have a convergence when the official market is still limited by few supply, while the unofficial market should be very active in fact, recently, a couple of months ago, Central Bank of Nigeria threatened to prosecute embassies officials failed to come to the official market to pass through their remittances or to regularize their remittances. They decide to go to the unofficial. So the official market becomes so active that they receive a lot of funds. Importers now go to them. In fact, some may even say that the unofficial market becomes so sustainable that you are very happy if you need dollar, that is where you get it. While if you go to the official market, it's hard for you to accept the window. That was the problem created as a result of scarcity of this very foreign in the official window. We don't know what BN is doing, and those who are nationalizing the supply, and the regular individual or importers or investment that CBN targets. Yes, we have the prohibition or the 43 items that were recently lifted. They existed, they all found themselves in the package, demanding from the government, making the unofficial more sustainable, and people will now want to, whatever dollar, whatever procedure, you will not prefer to go to the unofficial than going to the official market, the range or the disparity that is in between them. Nobody will want, if I am earning from any place of, let's assume, have a $1 million coming in. Official window is around 7-9, and unofficial window is around a $1,000. No reasonable Nigerian, no able businessman will want to, except you pass through the range of exporting items that need to document such transaction. But if it's someone who's currently living out, a man that have worked and lived there blooming in, he will not want to pass through the official. That's unfortunate. And that's why the government is making effort to unify so that this very money remittances that is coming from diaspora pass through the official. If the close margin between the official and non-official, people naturally go to the CBN official window. But when there is disparity, when there is wide range of price, exchange rate price between the non-official, Nigerians and foreigners too those are bringing forests will be forced to the unofficial market, which is the parallel market, to conduct their transaction. So, or the federal government quest is a very good, but they must have to tackle the main issue, which is making money, making forests available. There is no way to get the convergence if not supplying, so that if 790 of the official market and every importer that needs money goes to such markets and receive, you will see that in the unofficial market crash, because they will go to you, they will have access to money, there is some level of tightness. They may be the next 4 months or 3 months, they've not gotten at this very 790. Walk down to a bureau de change man, same day, they will have access to that. So this is where the issue is. If BN can make available supply, just like the minister said, that 10 billion is coming in to stabilize them. Steve, that's fantastic. If Steve, we have such kind of fund, it will help convergence to occur.
Steve, would you then say that it's a wise decision to unify the foreign exchange rate when we've not sorted the issue of supply?
Oh, there's nothing wrong about it. Policy is like a document, blueprint. Yes, this is what I want to do. I want to defy. I want to have some level of convergence. Beautiful. You should pursue from the structural, fundamental aspect of it, which isn't supply available. How do you make supply available? At least the one you have absolute control of, which is the production. The main source of our forest is the sales proceeds from crude. You tackle it. Make sure this issue of oil theft. For instance, in the last report we had, Nigeria is producing around 1.4 billion barrels per day. And oil is taking more than 300,000 per day. Times 300,000 against $90 per international selling price of crude oil. You have somewhere around $27. You are losing on daily basis. You are losing $7 million on daily basis due to oil theft, due to these cars that are involved in thieving and phoning our crude oil. If government only tackle the oil theft, it don't ramp up production or increase your production 1.6 or 1.7 barrel per day OPEC quota to 2.1, at least the theft, cut them off. You have resources or enough forest to define will cause the real convergence. That's the structure, that's the fundamental level we need to tackle it. Then politics around making sure our refinery works. At least if we can refine 20 to 30% of our local consumption. That reduce the import bills, because of demand and supply. Our export bills is far lower, or our receivables far lower to our import bills. Our balance of payments side. If government can deal with the issue of importing 100 of our petroleum consumption, if you can at least 20%, it reduces that pressure 90%. And then this major problem, or the major forest demand we have.
All right, Steve.
That's why they recently went to what they call the forward trade swap.
The problem,
to raise 3 billion.
We all know what is happening with the forex exchange. I mean, the government already made promises that they were going to unify, and even though it's taking a lot longer time and it keeps affecting the value of the naira. So right now, with all the problems, you're pointing out, which I am sure the federal government are aware of it, and the citizens of Nigeria, what do you think, as a financial analyst, the government, why do you think it's taking this long for the government to tackle these issues, already knowing the problems?
I think it's a question of committed. Yes, they've identified them. It's a question of being committed to it. Like I talked about the oil theft. Who doesn't know that there are criminal cabals? I know that the government at the height of its agency has information of individuals. It's a question of political instrument to deal with it. I'm very sure that at the level of this agency or at the level of the Minister of Petroleum or Minister of Gas or the level of the Finance Minister, they are very much aware of very cabals that are involved in oil theft. So it's just a way of dealing with the issue, using summoning that political will to deal with the issue. We are losing a lot of you as a result of these very individuals. They are the saboteur. They continue to cause of harm to our economy.
Okay.
Because the stability of naira has a lot, is equal stability of commodity prices.
Okay.
Stability.
Okay, Steve.
The strength are equals to the strength and sanity, rising sanity of our commodities and goods or services.
Okay, Steve.
As exchange rate continue to fall, you find that the prices of items continues to go.
Okay, Steve. In the past 8 years of the previous administration, we've not seen this kind of instability of the naira in such a manner that we've seen in the past few months. The naira has been on a free fall since the coming of this current administration. So, do you consider this policy direction of unifying the foreign exchange with the official and the parallel market as, you know, this free fall as a consequence of this policy? Would you agree with that?
Not at all. You know, one thing that this past government you've talked about has been consistent about doing is male propaganda, and they enjoy the valuation of naira. Just like you said in the last couple of years, what has they done to actually salvage the situation? Continue to talk about our refineries. I just told you the fact, yeah, these are mental things. Production, production of crude, cutting off these linkages we have, the oil theft. Then dealing with the issue of 100% importation of our petroleum products.
Steve,
We are 100% of what we consume are being imported.
Steve.
Now the effort is not bad. Like I said, yes, it seems like it's an effort utility in the sense that it's not yielding result. Since it was announced, the inflation policy, naira or the naira have not really found it fit.
Okay,
I said it's yes, the policy or the idea is fantastic, but the question is deal with the fundamental issues. If you don't deal with it, still like you are having what would I call a paper policy,
exactly,
in the sense that it has no.
So again, I ask, of what good is a policy that does not have positive impact? That's the point here. The previous administration left the naira to the dollar rate at around 450 or 600 thereabout, and when this administration came, then boom, we're talking about 1,200 naira in less than 6 months. That's what we're talking about. So would you say that it was a mistake to decide to go this direction without necessarily putting in place the things that will ensure that there is, positive impact of this policy from the onset? I mean, is it a case of putting the cart before the horse again, with like the fuel subsidy issue?
Of course, exactly. The fuel subsidy even the main driver, because it forced Nigerians buying at an international market price, trying to save some money. That affected the pricing in the market. Then you refuse to up production. Remember the late months or last administration, our production went as low as 9,000 barrels per day. We fell below 1 million barrels per day. That is on one hand. This new government was quick to take some decisions or policy decision, just like you said. There was no plan, but they felt that this propaganda is good. It will science. Let's float the naira. Let's everything to the market forces and all, and boom, everything went back. So it's a question of coming to realize the realities, which is to ensure that you have enough to defend the naira. You have to defend the naira because we are a human nation. Do you balance your payment if you defend the naira? You have to find ways to upgrade, or you make sure you produce what you eat. If not the aspect of the petroleum product, implement backward integration program that we help local manufacturers. Yes, someone will also argue too that 70 to 80% of the raw material by our industries and factories are exported. You create a special window for forest availability or organization of forest to these very key industry players.
Okay.
There are no two ways to it.
Okay, Steve, do you think that, as the government has claimed, that the lifting of restriction on these 43 items that were initially, suspended by the government will see a decrease in the prices of goods in the market? So are we likely going to see a reduction in the inflation rate as a result of this? Because that's one of the reasons why the government said they are lifting that restriction.
Yes, that's what it aims to achieve. But the reality truth remains that, like I said, the stability of naira means the safety in our pricing system, cost of production, and other thing around the commodity and services. If we continue to have free fall of naira, even if bring every other item into the estimate, it will still have no result. As speak, it has gotten worse. The 43 items that was into the official market. The intention of the federal government or the CBN actually to have a kind of record about what goes in there. Not only have a record, because it's a willing buyer, a willing seller market. It's the same thing that applies to the parallel market. It's not fixed. Let me explain further. In official window, it was more like it's a fee because it is a managed market. But in the parallel market, it's a willing seller. If you go down to the BDC man, you will find this BDC or the man trading in the unofficial market, the black market, will be selling at 1,000, for instance. The other will be selling at 1,001. The another one will be 1,002. Another one will be selling. So a range of prices, meaning there is a willing buyer, a willing. So if you want to go for 1,2, you go. If you go for 1,1, you go. If you want to go to 1,000, you go. So this is exactly what we want to achieve by making sure that those people going to the parliament to bid can also come and do the willing buyer, willing seller, at least within the pool of the federal government, with a level of some level of managed flotation, so that the price will not be determined by those but by those BDCs, by those unofficial market who can be reckless in their pricing. Another danger is also, if you don't have these people to come to the official market, a man can go as far as anywhere to raise dollar at a ridiculous price, and he will do it on that importer that needs them. Let me explain further. If an importer is desperate to have forex to import his raw material, or is one of those 43 items that is banned, and goes to New York, gets me at a exorbitant rate, maybe 1,400, he will get from me maybe at 1,500. There's no choice because he has been banned for accessing the official market. Now I'm the one making it available for him. I get it, if my landing cost is 1,004, I will offload it or sell to him at 1,005 or 1,450. So that is the danger we have been facing that's still trying to cut. If you bring them back to the official market, there is some level of management that is you cannot recklessly wake up and say you are selling at the official rate at 1,000 or at 950. No.
Okay.
Because there is a range. Yes, it's a willing buyer, willing seller, but you cannot on your own push the rate above because there are people queuing. So CBN has some level of money of that maybe window. Okay. But the on market, I can decide to buy at 1,100. I can decide to buy at 1,000, depending the volume of dollar I'm looking for.
Let's talk about the naira appreciating through this the weekend. You know, at this point, we don't even really know what happened to make the naira appreciate, which is something that Nigerians are celebrating. But we have seen over, I think, a month ago, the World Bank saying that Nigeria's naira is one of the worst performing currency in Africa and in the world at large. So, do you think this appreciation of the naira in the forex market is something to celebrate? Do you think it's something that would last long? If we should allow it, it would fall, it would rise on its own?
Unfortunately, my sister, both the fall and the rise, they are all artificial, all driven by speculation, the handworks of speculators. The much I know about the markets, I understand the underplay of demand and supply. An individual can create artificial, an individual can also create a supply in the market.
So what do we
PM policy statement. Pardon?
What do we need to do in order to at least let the government has its hold on the forex market exchange rate?
That's the point I'm making. The government to be in charge. And you can be in charge when you allow free flotation. There should be some level of management. Who is demanding for that $1 billion? Who is demanding for that $1 million? Do you need for it? Can't I give you 2 weeks than you going to the parallel market and be asking at 1,600? That is the management.
The government can do for them to make sure they follow all the trace of who are making the demands of changing currencies like that. Do you think it's something the government can achieve?
The government can, that's why they brought in this 43 item inside. Please come inside. We have excluded you for 8 years. We don't know how you are going into this forest. Now we need your activities. We need to know how much of you are imported. We need to know the strength of your demand for forest. Come into the window. That's what CBN does. And that's exactly what they did. The question is backing up with some level of supply.
Okay.
Yes, I know that CBN is dilemma because they don't have sufficient rest to meet the demand, the right demand.
Okay, Steve.
But God needs to be in charge because you cannot leave your exchange market to the of forces of the market or market forces.
Okay, Steve.
So CBN has charge. CBN has to, in fact, government itself has to put us some simple policy measures.
Okay, Steve.
What can government do in the next 1 month or the next by December as they promise that our refineries will start working? Not to also drag the price down. It's also enough to make some level of sanity in our pricing system.
Okay, Steve.
If we
all right, Steve.
produce
recently, one of the ministers, Wale Edu, made some statements where he said that very soon the government will digitize foreign exchange transactions. How far do you think that will go in helping to stabilize the forex market?
It's a good measure too, if you can add that. That's a question of having a trace to every single transaction that is being conducted within the exchange market. If you can digitalize it, it means that every transaction conducted, both the official and unofficial windows, were recorded. It will tell you if someone is actually speculating. with our naira. If somebody is actually manipulating the naira, because I can buy from you, come today, like I said earlier, these speculators or the economic saboteurs, how we should consider them as enemies of the nation. They have the capacity of buying $100 million. He comes today, he must have understudied the inflation, must have understudied the availability of foreign within the market. At least I'm talking about the honor of instrument. He mop up everything available with which I go to Lagos, Port Harcourt. He mop up with $100 million. Let's assume 1,000. There won't be inflows in the next 2 weeks. He comes again to demand, using artificial interest, to demand at 1,001, 1,002. That becomes an exchange rate. Because we take Port Harcourt with the naira as we want to. Lagos we take to Abuja, and now they are selling at 1. He will supply. He's the one that came, mop up what is available. The same man comes and also supply. So that's why we said you should not give the exchange market to the forces. Market forces are these very people who manipulate. They can also be industrial players. They have some receivables. That, for instance, Dangote has some what he's doing. He's what? Sorry, using such an institution. I'm not saying they are involved, but I'm just giving even the official, even those who do legitimate business, also in manipulation.
Okay.
When you have receivables and you try not to pass through the official window,
Okay.
because we are talking about the health.
Steve, do you think there's a political will to go after these speculators, for instance? Do you think that the government have the political will to do so? Because I mean, ordinary Nigerians cannot be the ones operating in such a manner. It has to be, people at the very, very top, people with substance, people who actually can deal in such hard currencies.
Yes, I agree with you. The political, you may not be able, because even if you have the school, you don't have the financial muscle. As in financial muscle is the availability of, that's the dilemma. You want to do something, but you don't have the required flow of forest to say, okay, you add, what can you supply to areas? What can you make available to areas? So you may not be able to achieve it, even if you pick and if them up and say, leave my market. You don't have enough forest to supply to the system. Too, this same individual have forest abroad, have individuals, corporate organizations that they deal with. They also receive forest. They go as far as Germany, Belgium, yes, to get inflows of forest. So yes, it's like they are very strong cabal, but government has to take decisions and to start from making forest supply level. If you can't do that, it will help naira breathe again. You can cut off the oil theft. Like I talked about, 300,000 barrels of crude is being stolen on daily basis. You convert that 300,000 to the current price of international price of crude oil, which is around $90 or $85 barrel. It means that you are saving or having about $25 to $27 available for you to defer. $27 million daily enough to stabilize, is enough FCBN stabilize the exchange market.
Okay. All right.
Then when you deal with it of 100% importation of crude or product, at least reduce it by 30%. That will also give you enough breathing space.
Okay.
These are policies, these are measures government can take help. Right. Yes, you may not be able to check these individuals because they have enough flexibility within them in that space. Why it seems like the parallel market seems like the most sustainable market. Okay. If you travel today, you quickly run down to the market, you get whatever the objective to move You want to go to for a medical treatment, you quickly go to parallel market. If you want CBN official window, you may dial in here.
Okay.
If you want to travel
All
for
right, Steve,
you
thank you so
quickly
much.
go to COD of no. It seems like they become such a relevant and source market because that market is available. No
Okay,
size
thank you,
of
Stephen.
transaction
Stephen
conducted
Nwachukwu,
in that market is high official.
thank
It's less
you,
than
Steve,
15-20 cents.
economist and financial analyst. Thank you for joining us on Daybreak this morning and sharing your perspectives on the rising foreign exchange rate. We appreciate and we look forward to having you join us again on the program. Thank you.